Hi everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome back to 3 and Out with the Dolphins. Yes, your host Ron here, going over the scores and highlights of what the Dolphins did in Week 4 against the Bengals. It wasn't pretty, but we took the loss as we dropped the 3-1. And my homeboy Big Daddy Tua suffered a concussion and will be out in Week 5 against them Jets. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to bore y'all too much with me talking. Let's go ahead and get into the scores and highlights. Alrighty, Tua Tago completed 8 for 14 for 110 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. He got sacked for a 10-yard loss, rushed the ball 1 time for 0 yards. And after that day, he was sacked, thrown down to the ground real hard, which he suffered a mild concussion and had a sore back. He later on went into the game for maybe a couple of series, but the coach pulled him out and set him out. Now, due to NFL protocols, he had to sit out for a game for the concussion he suffered. This is the second concussion because he suffered one in the Buffalo game in Week 3. Meanwhile, Big Daddy Teddy came in and he completed 14 for 23 for 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he rushed the ball 1 time for 11 yards. The air attack. Tyreek Hill had 10 catches for 160 yards. He rushed the ball 1 time for a -1 yard. Jay Waddle had 2 completions for 39 yards. C. Wilson, no show. Mike Gesicki had 2 catches for 23 yards. T. Sheffield had 4 catches for 55 yards. Yeah, this boy finally waking up. And he's a good outside threat. D. Smith had no catches for no yards, as well as Carcap had no catches for no yards. The ground attack. Edmonds had 5 carries for 6 yards. He had 2 receptions for 14 yards. Monster had 15 carries for 69 yards. And 2 catches for 12 yards. Ingle was cold for the whole entire game of the Bengals, but hope that we can see more of him in Week 5 because this backfield is dynamic. Offensive line needs to go ahead and start blocking so get this running game going. The running coaches say, hey, we need to get this running game going so we can take some pressure off Teddy Bridgewater as well as Tua. Points per quarter. First quarter, Dolphins scored 3, Bengals scored 7. Second quarter, Dolphins scored 9, as the Bengals scored 7. Third quarter, Dolphins scored 3, as the Bengals scored nothing. That defense put it down in the third quarter, but it went reverse. Bengals defense stopped the Dolphins from scoring in the fourth quarter, as the Bengals scored 13. Total points, Dolphins 15, Bengals 27. Defensive power. Defense allowed 27 points per game. They gave up 287 yards in the air, 67 yards rushing, one rushing touchdown, 2 receiving touchdowns. They had a sack for 6-yard loss and no fumbles. Offensive power. 60 plays total, 20 first downs, no turnovers. We had 85 yards rushing, 293 passing yards, 2 turnovers, 1 sack for a 10-yard loss. Total offensive yards were 378 yards of total offense, and time of possession was 28.25. My input on the Dolphins' performance. As y'all notice, it's the same old. The offensive line. The offensive line needs to do their thing. And right now, with Tua sitting out in Week 5 against the Jets due to concussion issues, the running game is holding its own. You know, just like I said, Monster and Edmonds are two good backs. But the offensive coaching as well as the running coach, they're not doing their jobs on the sideline. You got two dynamic running backs. If you get them going, you can go ahead and have open up on the play action, because that brings the defense closer in so they can go ahead and start defending the run. And open up Tyreek Hill and Jay Waddle deep for easy touchdowns. Just offensive line also needs to go ahead and start protecting the ball a little bit more. I mean, yes, protecting the quarterback, because Tua already suffered 2 concussions, one against the Bills, but he went back in the game, as well as one in the Bengals where he's out for week 5. So once we go ahead on and fix that offensive line, and the offensive line needs to come together and say, hey, we could do this as a team. We could do this. And when we go ahead on and focus as a unit, then we could go further. But right now, the offensive line is not that good. So the offensive line needs to pick up. And in week 5 against the Jets, we need to see what we can do, because Teddy will be holding it down as we play the Jets in week 5. Alrighty. That is it for 3 and Out with the Dolphins. Your host Ron here. Tune into week 5 as I go over the scores and highlights of the performance of the Dolphins against the Jets. And everything gonna be easy breezy. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.